I started my career as a Indian Forest Service officer, which is a all India service, and my cadre was a Himachal Pradesh. I worked in different positions in a different in the forest department as a chief conservator, ecotourism, finance, and campa, and many other things in the forest department.
So, what is Samagra Shiksha?
The Himachal could not utilize the funding provided by government of India.
तो सर बात करते हैं हिमाचल के बच्चों की बात करते हैं. आप देखोगे कि हर तीसरे दिन आपको ये न्यूज़ मिलती है कि द यूथ इज़ गेटिंग टुवर्ड्स ड्रग एडिक्शन. तो उसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे और स्कूल में ऐसी क्या अवेयरनेस के लिए आपकी तरफ से क्या स्टेप्स लिए गए हैं?
There used to be, there are movies like Udta, Punjab, and all kind of a thing. So that notion was there, and we used to wonder how it happens. But we didn't realize, it didn't take much of time that we are caught in the same situation now. So Udta Himachal is not a strange word.
So, what is a good teacher as per you?
There are forces, international forces,
To weaken our economy
to weaken that demographic dividend, which can boost the economy of this country. There are teachers involved.
Teachers
We have some vocational teachers who got arrested. So law enforcement agency, the police people involved, there are forest people involved, there are school teachers involved, there are parents involved, there are boy or a daughter is into the chitta or into drugs.
So, what do you have to say about the relation between India and Pakistan that's been happening in today's world?
In the name of Kashmir, a lot of blood has already been shed. उनको मारना या वहाँ पे अटैक करना was good. मैंने कहा ही कि पाकिस्तान कहाँ था और हम कहाँ थे, साथ साथ चले थे, अब वो कहाँ रह गए और हम कहाँ पहुँच गए. These so-called hard terrorists are being sheltered by Pakistan because our system got disturbed. Those values we could not continue with. Yes, I agree with you that Himachal comparison or comparatively to other state is far better. No study can give you that kind of a name and fame. Don't burden your children on education. I don't know, but there were few things which were out of syllabus. मैं राजेश हूँ और मैं डायरेक्टर समग्र शिक्षा हिमाचल हूँ. बेसिकली IFS से हूँ और आज मुझे द डिम्पल्ड वे में आके बहुत अच्छा लगा. और I hope that I know that there are a lot of subscribers to this channel. I'm sure कि आप इसको प्रियंका के साथ देखते रहेंगे और लाइक करते रहेंगे. थैंक यू.
हाय एवरीवन, द डिम्पल वे में आप सबका स्वागत है. मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट प्रियंका सारस्वत और आज के एपिसोड में हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट आए हैं जो हिमाचल प्रदेश समग्र शिक्षा विभाग के डायरेक्टर हैं. हिमाचल प्रदेश एजुकेशन सिस्टम को एक नया आयाम जिन्होंने सेट करके दिया है और इनके बारे में बहुत सारी ऐसी बातें हैं जो शायद मैं इस इंट्रोडक्शन में कवर नहीं कर पाऊँगी, तो इनके बारे में इन्हीं की ज़ुबानी जानेंगे. सो प्लीज़ वेलकम राजेश शर्मा विद अस टुडे. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for coming. It's an honor to be having you with us today. How are you?
I'm very good, Priyanka. Thank you very much for inviting me, and it's a rather pleasure to be with you on your show, The Dimpled Way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप ऑडियंस के सामने अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस करें through this podcast.
Well, Priyanka, I started my career as a Indian Forest Service officer, which is a all India service, and my cadre was a Himachal Pradesh. I worked in different capacities over the period of time. I have worked in the state government of Himachal Pradesh, where the parent department was the forest department. So I have done few stints as a divisional forest officers, which was my primary job. And after working in forest department for 12 years, I went to Government of India. I remained as an Assistant Inspector General of Forest, Government of India, come Deputy Secretary in the Ministry of Environment and Forest when Mr. Jairam Ramesh was the Forest Minister, and it was the UPA government of that time. Then, after doing in Government of India, I, continued and went on external positions in the Ministry of External Affairs and worked as a regional passport officer for the state of Himachal Pradesh. Then after, I came back to the state, and I was founder, managing director for Himachal Pradesh Kaushal Vikas Nigam. After putting my services in the Kaushal Vikas Nigam, I came back to the department, elevated as a conservator and a chief conservator. I worked in different positions in a different in the forest department as a chief conservator, ecotourism, finance, and Campa, and many other things in the forest department. And then again, the state government wanted me as a director, youth services and sports. So the last position I worked was the youth services and sports director, Himachal. And presently, when this government came into power, they asked me to, hold this position of Samagra Shiksha. There's a position called Director Samagra Shiksha Himachal. So I'm presently working as a Director Samagra Shiksha for 2.5
So
years.
what is Samagra Shiksha?
Samagra Shiksha, if the word suggests, it is a holistic education. It is why we call it Samagra Shiksha. We need to go back into the background, and the background is that the earlier government of India, Ministry of School Education, they used to deal with the state governments. I mean, across the country. And the first interface between government of India and state governments was the DPEP program, where few districts from every state were picked up, and they were supported by government of India when the many funding started coming from government of India on those districts to improve the quality of school education and the infrastructures. Then the later it turned into this so-called Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. And Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan it actually started with the primary, then went into the middle, and then went to high school, and then now it is from the pre-primary to the 12th standard. So putting together, they now call it as a Samagra Shiksha. It has actually gone through a evolutionary phase. And now the government of India, Ministry of School Education, they support every state across the country, including Himachal Pradesh. A lot of funding comes from government of India. They actually support on the quality education. They also support on infrastructures and other things, like we need to construct labs, we need to set up certain buildings, we need science labs, we need playgrounds, we need boundary walls. So all kind of infrastructures, and apart from infrastructure, they actually fund the state government on many innovative projects which enhances and strengthens the quality education. And also on certain recurring expenditures also, where the teacher training is a very important component. So they help every state in imparting trainings to the various teachers in the schools. So a lot of fundings come from government of India. So the platform for government of India in every state is a Samagra Shiksha. So this is how it is and how it has been evolved over the period of time.
ओके सर. सर एज अ डायरेक्टर आपके कौन कौन से चैलेंजेस रहे जो आपने ओवरकम भी किए?
Priyanka, challenges were manifold. When I joined this department, the biggest challenge, and there were series of meetings happening with government of India, and they were raising many concerns, particularly the concerns on the spendings. The Himachal could not utilize the funding provided by government of India over the period of 2-3 years. Only 60%, 50% of the money which was spent by the state. So what you call the capacity to spend the building, the spending the money was very less. So that was one of the biggest challenge. And government of India always pointing out every state who is not in a position to spend money. And Himachal is also one of those who could not. So that was the biggest challenge for me. I never wanted to carry on with that kind of a legacy that the state government is not in a position to spend money. And I'm thankful to the Secretary Government of India who really motivated us, and particularly he motivated me that Rajesh, you can do it. And I'm thankful to the present government in the state who also, gave me a very free hand on expenditures. And I can tell you gladly that today we are in a situation that last 2 years I am holding this position. We have three schemes in Samagra. One is a World Bank project called STAR. Another is a scheme called Samagra Shiksha, and there was a third project now, PM Shri. In all the three schemes, we have utilized 100% budget last year and also 99% budget this year. So that was the major challenge for the state, that not utilizing the fund provided by Government of India, particularly for the state like Himachal, where there's a lot of paucity of funds. Because as you know that Himachal, the revenue deficit state. So we have to generate either resources, which unfortunately we can't, and then we need to rely on the projects coming from Government of India, funding coming from Government of India and the central sponsor schemes. If that we cannot utilize, then it is not good for the state. But that's a good thing that in Samagra Shiksha we could utilize it to the fullest now, Priyanka.
Okay, so what have your contribution been towards it, towards the well-being of the students in the state Himachal Pradesh?
Well, Samagra does a lot of things, Priyanka. Samagra has a mandate of right from, as I said, that when it comes to the holistic development of students, then the holistic development is a 360-degree development of a student. So, on one side, when you talk of educational ecosystem, then there are three, important ingredients or the components, also called pillars. One is the best of the teachers you should have, because as the old saying goes, and it has been there since ages, when if you go back to the past history of India, when in our teaching used to be in the gurukuls.
Yes.
So the gurukuls used to be the educational institutes. Even during Buddha's time, it evolved a bit, but still these were the seats of educations who were there. So the best thing used to happen for the holistic development of that time was the interface between the teacher
Teacher.
and the students. So what you all need for a best of the things is, still I personally feel that if the teachers are the best and the students are also there to get education, then education is going to happen, Priyanka. I mean, the rest is a peripheral sports which you can say, but the two best actors when education happens in any educational ecosystem, that is the teacher and the teacher's interface with the student.
So what is a good teacher as per you?
Good teacher is a huge word, I tell you, because if you go back, Priyanka, to your school time or to our school time, then we always remember there used to be so and so teacher. We have few teachers, who always that best teacher tag comes into our mind, because we have seen those teachers in our school time. Still I can figure out the names. I have studied when 80s and all. So but I figure out all those best teachers. So best teacher is that first and foremost, that he has to be a great human. That is the first thing. Second is that he should be the subject matter specialist, right? So if he is good at his own subject, then he can transmit those values, those knowledge, those skills of that particular chapter which he is being, and he has to be working very hard on him. He has to plan a session. He has to spend a lot of time beyond his classroom when he's preparing his lecture to be delivered next day. And as I said, that every teacher requires capacity building. They are not there that once they did some courses on JBT for the primary teachers, or B.Ed or M.Ed for the PGT and the so-called school lecturers, they say now. But they, for us, they are all teachers. So whatever professional courses or degrees they obtain, that does not give them that kind of a skill which can make them a good teacher. They need to go in their tenure and the training becomes very, very critical for these teachers over a period of time. So what you call a support system of a department of education for those teachers, so that there has to be, now in the present what they call it, language lab. So the teacher can go back to the language lab and they can put their questions, they get the answer, go back to the classrooms. Otherwise, there are n number of trainings and there are n number of orientation courses being held by the ministry and Samagra Shiksha sports, and they spend millions of rupees on every year's training programs of the teacher. So capacity building is one of the important factor for being the good teacher. But as I said, that the best teacher is that if somebody on the retirement, if the entire school cries and they are in tears, that speaks volumes for that
About the
teacher.
personality.
That means what? That means he has to be good human. He has to be good at his subject. He has to be respected. So earning that kind of a aura, that does not happen in one day. That takes a lot of time for any human to enjoy that kind of a reputation. So that's the answer I think I have done to justice to your question on the good teacher.
ओके
Yeah.
ओके सो सर, बात करते हैं हिमाचल के बच्चों की बात करते हैं। आप देखोगे कि हर तीसरे दिन आपको ये न्यूज़ मिलती है कि द यूथ इज़ गेटिंग टुवर्ड्स ड्रग एडिक्शन। तो उसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे, और स्कूल में ऐसी क्या अवेयरनेस के लिए आपकी तरफ से क्या स्टेप्स लिए गए हैं?
This is a huge problem, I personally feel. I mean, we have seen it in the past that we used to target few neighboring states
Yeah,
of
yes, yes.
Himachal, and there used to be, there are movies like Udta,
Punjab,
Punjab, and all kind of a thing. So that notion was there, and we used to wonder how it happens. But we didn't realize, it didn't take much of time that we are caught in the same situation
Yes.
now. So Udta Himachal is not a strange word, right? It has
Sadly.
become some kind of a reality. Yeah, and we have seen it, when I joined, the Samagra Shiksha, and I started peeping and looking into the educational system and the schools and the students. There are a number of factors, Priyanka, that has happened in Himachal, because it has certainly came from the neighboring states, and the neighboring states got it from even the international borders,
Yes,
and
yes.
there are as India is enjoying the advantage of demographic dividend. When we say that when the Western world has a wrinkling faces, there are aged economies now,
Yes.
including Australia, Western, and even US. Then the biggest advantage to our country is that our young population is much, much more than any country in the world.
Yes.
So that advantage we have. So that advantage can be, there are forces, international forces,
To weaken our economy and
to weaken that demographic dividend, which can boost the economy of this country. So that comes somehow, it comes from the international borders. Probably it came in Punjab also. Now the kind of linkages in the recent, the kind of so-called a very mission mode, mm, the policies of Himachal government, which now is capturing so many people. And when we start linking those things, then we find that there are different people and different people from different walk of life who are a part of that nexus in Himachal. Now that school thing has been, there are teachers involved.
Teachers are
We
also.
have we have some vocational teachers who were got arrested,
Oh God.
and there are the recent evidences suggest the people from the so-called law
And
enforcing
they do it
agencies,
for money.
they do it for money. Of course there is a money involved, because it is one profession where you can
Easily get money, easy money. Yeah.
so easy money or so-called quick buck notion is there. So when you want to make a quick money or quick buck, then this is the way and means to do it. So law enforcement agency, the police people involved, there are forest people involved, there are school teachers involved, there are parents involved, there are, I mean, if you say anybody in the this social fabric in the society, you find who is not even involved. So somehow it is dangerous. But yes, whatever within our capacity, we are trying to create some kind of a social barriers which we can do. Government is on it, and as you know that, and you must be and you must ask sometimes some cops from Himachal can speak on this issue more than I can speak on this issue. But yes, we are sensitizing our boys and girls in the schools. There are a lot of program, not only, we are not just doing it very symbolic, but we are serious about it. We take police people to our schools, we take our health people to us to schools. We also take those people who were into drugs and all, and now they have recovered out of it, to tell those students how they have gone through this hell, so that the boys and girls get sensitized, because that's the only thing. But yes, this is not a problem of the only the school administration. It is a problem of a society, and society as a whole have to come forward to deal with this.
How should parents protect their children from getting into it?
So the first thing is that we have seen it in many cases. I don't want to name, but in many cases, Priyanka, very surprisingly, where parents started knowing that his boy or a daughter is into the chitta or into drugs, they in the first go they start hiding it
From?
from the society, because they don't want to expose them, and they don't want to earn that bad name or a stigma
But do you think
from
the society is also responsible, because
that.
there is
Is
a lot of taboo that is associated with
no, that
this?
is why this taboo is what is responsible for not even admitting it. So parents need to admit it, that yes, my son or a daughter is into it. Let us join hand to prevent it. But for a very long time, they try at their own level and they want to hide it. So that's also one of the reasons. Because if you are not admitting that their kids are into the wrong things, then nothing can help them. So that's the bigger issue, Priyanka. That's a major issues. We have seen many parents, they are not, no, ये तो कुछ नहीं करता है, ये तो ऐसे ही है. And by the time they realize that the boys or the
It's too
girl is
late.
not in their hand, so that's another problem of the society.
Okay, so as a society, कौन से steps लेने चाहिए so that people also get comfortable to open up about it if they are getting into it?
Society, I personally feel that society, when we say society, then we mean anything which is around us. So one should not think that if some boys or a girls in a group are doing something wrong, And as a passerby, you are going, Priyanka, and you are part of that neighborhood. So if you are not
जजमेंटल
disclosing
नोशन ना हो उसके अराउंड.
ना हो,
You should
but
sympathize. Yeah.
point is that you need to, somewhere disclose it to the authorities. That's kindly look at this. Are these boys, girls, gathering together at so and so point in the evening? Are they not doing anything wrong? So the point is that if we start ignoring bad things happening around us, then who going to point out? Somebody has to point out. Parents are hiding. The people are afraid. No, no, no. I'm not part of it. Why should I complain? Police is a part of it. Forget about it. He's my known. So who going to help it? So the whole society, whole what you call samaj, has to come forward to really prevent it. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. But I feel that yes, if we can make our kids more aware, then because it starts with a very small thing. It starts with, as we have seen in many places, it starts with
The peer pressure also, like being cool.
peer pressure, because when you start romanticizing it, the many movies, the guy who is taking a lot of drugs, who is smoking, who is fagging, is considered to be a very cool guy. So that kind of a signal also need to be stopped. You can't say that
Glamorize it.
glamorizing it. So that's not the way we have to. So many things, many factors can inhibit it. Those factors have to be on the forefront by the society, and that is how we can deal with it. Otherwise it is a problem. So it is like in if you say in one sentence, I feel that it is something where uh, stick and carrot formula can work. Why I say stick? Stick is a law enforcing agencies. They have to be on their toes when it is going beyond the control. They need to curb it. So that's a law enforcing. That's why I call that the stick is required. But also the carrot, where some kind of what you really said, that we need to sensitize. We need to tell them that this is bad. So the kind of a carrot formula, so stick and carrot formula putting together can deal with it. I hope it happens, and it happens fast in the state of Himachal, or even in our neighboring state of Punjab, because those forces, internationally now, these are the tactics of the international wars to weaken your youth in the nation, so that your economy does not build the way we
Which
are
country do you
building.
think is mainly responsible for it?
I don't want to name because that mandate is not with me, Priyanka. But yes, that there are evidences that even the international borders across Pakistan, many of the capes have been recovered by the Punjab police across the border. So that goes without even saying. So a lot of things are coming, and then there is a market. There is a Priyanka, huge market internationally into this. So we cannot only say that it's
One
because of
countries.
one country, but it is driven by all those countries where there are the drug mafias are actually, making a lot of money out of it.
So, what do you have to say about the relation between India and Pakistan that's been happening in today's world?
Oh, I come from Priyanka. I come from a background
But as a
where I'm
foreign,
doing yeah. So point is that yes, I personally feel that I was going through, because when I was a part of the external affair as a regional passport officer, I got opportunity to work with some of the so-called the foreign service officers who were my counterparts in other states. And the present external affair minister was my secretary at that time. Jaishankar ji was the secretary when I was the RPO. So, but yes, going by what he said today at the national level, that war, by and large, if you think, that does not help any country. But yes, we at the same time can't be mood spectators to the kind of brutalities
Yes, Menace.
they have done to commoners in our country. In the name of Kashmir, a lot of blood has already been,
Shit.
shed, and we are aware of that. So I think the decision at the national level to settle the scores by demolishing their what you call जो भी उन लोगों के वहाँ पे थे उनको उनको मारना या वहाँ पे अटैक करना was good. But ultimately, if you see, we are in the world now where no world can really sustain wars for a long time.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
that is important, and that need to be understood at the, on the across the borders also. That country should also understand that, and that's also for their betterment. Early they think about it, because getting shelter to all those people, so-called militants in their country, is has not helped them. Actually, the country has gone down, so they need to look at this. And but yes, Prabhu Satta, yeah, what you call, the Indian internal security is our job. We must do that. If we have to defend our borders, we should defend our border. And I think the very decisions of attacking those camps across the border was the right decision.
ओके, सो आप देखोगे सर सोशल मीडिया पे भी सिविलियंस ज़्यादा ये बोलते हैं कि हम वॉर करेंगे, ये करेंगे, बट दे डोंट रियलाइज इफ़ दे डोंट हैव एनी वन फ्रॉम द आर्मी उनकी फैमिली में, तो वो दे आर गोइंग टू से कि वो वॉर करते हैं, बट रियल इम्पैक्ट वॉर का कितना रहता है आई थिंक वही लोग जानते हैं जिनकी फैमिली से आर्मी में हैं लोग.
नहीं प्रियंका, आई एग्री विद यू कि असल में ये चीज़ बड़ा एक ऐसा बड़ा जटिल सा विषय है, क्योंकि जब किसी हमारे किसी भी देश के नागरिक निहत्थे सिटीजन्स को मार दिया जाता है या एम्बुश हमारे आर्मी के कैंप्स को करा जाता है, तो दैट काइंड ऑफ एक जो हमारे लोगों का या देश में जो माहौल बनता है उस समय पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट, वो किसी भी देश का हो सकता है. कोई भी देश अपने निहत्थों के ऊपर इस तरह से अटैक होते हुए और अगर मूड स्पेक्टेटर बना रहे तो वो भी कोई अच्छी बात तो है नहीं.
हाँ.
तो उस पे जो लोगों का एक रिएक्शन होता है वो बड़ा स्वाभाविक है. लेकिन अब बात ये होती है कि उसका रिएक्शन, अगर हम ये कहें कि द ओनली सॉल्यूशन इज़ अ वॉर, तो वो तो बहुत मुश्किल का काम है. क्योंकि हम लोगों का अगर पाकिस्तान के साथ, आज पाकिस्तान कहाँ है, हम वी स्टार्टेड एट द सेम टाइम. वेयर इज़ पाकिस्तान, वेयर इज़ इंडिया? We are going to be the fourth and fifth economy of the world. So the way we have progressed, that should not also get a hit by spending so much money on and compromise the national developments on the defense side. But that's also not good. But at the same time, as you said, कि हाँ, लोगों को लगता है कि हाँ मार देते हैं, तो मार देना इज़ नॉट ए सॉल्यूशन, क्योंकि दोनों तरफ का इशू है. और अल्टीमेटली किसी भी वॉर में अगर हारती है तो ह्यूमैनिटी हारती है.
सर पाकिस्तान की अगर बात करें तो वहाँ के लोग जो ये लोग करते हैं, आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि वो देशद्रोह अपने कंट्री के साथ भी कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज द कॉमन पीपल इज सफरिंग द मोस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इन पाकिस्तान एज वेल.
नहीं, वो मैंने कहा ही कि पाकिस्तान कहाँ था और हम कहाँ थे, साथ साथ चले थे, अब वो कहाँ रह गए और हम कहाँ पहुँच गए. तो उसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है प्रियंका, कि वो तो उनका, वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अगर उन्होंने अब इन लोगों को शरणें दी हैं, दे हैव प्रोवाइडेड शेल्टर्स टू but Osama bin Laden and all these so-called hard terrorists are being sheltered by Pakistan. So they cannot say that they have not given them sanctuary. They have provided these militants as a very safe places in Pakistan. So, but how it has helped Pakistan? They need to realize it. दे नीड टू रियलाइज इट कि पाकिस्तान का किस तरह से हेल्प किया है इस चीज़ ने. अगर वो उनको इतना समय से मुहैया करा रहे हैं सारी चीज़ें, तो उससे कोई पाकिस्तान का भला आज तक तो हुआ नहीं. क्विकली दे रियलाइज इट, इट विल बी गुड फॉर बोथ द नेशंस.
ठीक है सर, एज एन IFS ऑफिसर जो आपका फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट जब आप होल्ड कर रहे थे, तो कोई ऐसे एनकाउंटर्स है जो आपको अभी भी याद है, कोई ऐसी स्टोरी?
वेल मैं
स्टिल टच्ड योर हार्ट?
हाँ, नहीं मतलब मेरा कोई सीधा सीधा दखल तो नहीं था, पर मुझे कुछ चीज़ें आज भी याद आती है कि जब मैं रीजनल पासपोर्ट ऑफिसर हिमाचल होता था, तो बहुत सारे लोग क्रेज़ हैं हमारे हिमाचल में भी, पंजाब में भी बहुत सारे लोग फ़ॉरेन जाना चाहते हैं. और फ़ॉरेन जाने के लिए जो सबसे पहला टिकट है वो पासपोर्ट होता है कि यू हैव टू मेक अ पासपोर्ट. तो उस सिलसिले में बहुत सारे लोग हमारे पास, सबसे ज़्यादा लोग मेरे पास ऊना, कांगड़ा और हमीरपुर के लोग पासपोर्ट बनाने आया करते थे. तब ये पासपोर्ट सेवा केंद्र नहीं होता था, और पर्सनल ही लेवल पे पासपोर्ट बनते थे. और बाद में हम लोगों ने, मेरे समय में ही ये ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन शुरू हुआ. TCS के साथ हम लोगों ने पासपोर्ट सेवा केंद्र शुरू कर दिए, और अब इजी है पासपोर्ट बनाना. बट वो एक ऐसा समय था जब पासपोर्ट बनाना मुश्किल गिना जाता था, और बहुत सारी सिफारिशें रोज़ आया करती थी. बट मैंने ऐसा भी देखा कि एक मुझे कई वाक़या हैं, लेकिन एक वाक़या मेरे पास आज भी है कि एक बच्चा था, कोई वो मेरे पास पासपोर्ट बनाने आया. बच्चा क्या, यस यंग बॉय हु केम एंड ही सेड कि साहब मैं जो हूँ, ये मुझे पासपोर्ट बनाना है. तो हमने पूछा कहाँ जाना है, तो उन्होंने कहा साहब मुझे जो है सऊदी अरेबिया जाना है. तो और तुमने क्या किया? बोले जी मेरा कोई रहता है, उन्होंने कहा कि यहाँ पे हम नौकरी दिलवा देंगे. तो वेरी पुअर गाय. तो ही सेड कि अच्छा ठीक है. तो एक फ़ीस होती थी, अब मुझे याद नहीं है कितने, पता नहीं 1000-1200 रुपये की फ़ीस होती थी कोई, तो वो लगती थी. तो उसके पास वो भी देने को नहीं था.
अच्छा.
तो उसने कहा कि जी मेरे पास इतने तो नहीं हैं, तो मैं कुछ करता हूँ. तो देन आई सेड कि नो, नॉट ए इशू. तो हमने मतलब कई जगह पे, नॉट ए वन टाइम, पर कभी जगह पे ऐसा हुआ जहाँ पे ये यंग बच्चों के पास फ़ीस नहीं होती थी देने की, तो हमने पासपोर्ट अपने पास से पैसे दे करके उनके बनवाए. तो कुछ वाक़या मेरे जहन में आज भी है कि विच रिमाइंड्स मी ऑफ दैट टेन्योर. और कुछ वाक़या ऐसे भी उस समय हुए कि कुछ कंट्रीज़ में अनरेस्ट हो गया, या कुछ जगहों पे हमारे हिमाचल के जो यूथ थे वो कहीं ले गए. और
कोई कहाँ से स्कैम भी बहुत सुनी है स्टोरी.
स्कैम तो नहीं है, लेकिन ऐसा हुआ था कि 2-3 लोग हमारे ही हिमाचल के गए और उनके पासपोर्ट रख लिए, और उनके साथ फिर बड़ी बदतमीज़ी वहाँ पे हुई. और फिर किसी तरह से उनकी चिट्ठी हिमाचल को पहुँची. तो फिर हमने उस समय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से बात करके उनको किसी तरह से वहाँ से छुड़वाया था. तो कुछ चीज़ें, कुछ यादें उस समय की मेरे दिमाग में है. जी.
ओके सर, गेटिंग बैक टू एजुकेशन सिस्टम इन इंडिया, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें हैं जो अभी भी हमारे एजुकेशन सिस्टम में लैक करती हैं और जो होनी चाहिए?
जो हमारे होनी चाहिए, 2-3 चीज़ें मैं पहले कहना चाहूँगा कि एक तो एजुकेशन सिस्टम में आज की डेट में हिमाचल प्रदेश का जहाँ तक बात है, स्कूल में बच्चे नहीं रह गए. एक होड़ सी लग गई है 2004, और हमारे पास 15,000 स्कूल है सरकारी स्कूल में की जहाँ तक बात करें, उसमें से 10,000 स्कूल एलिमेंट्री के हैं, और 4-5 हज़ार स्कूल हाई स्कूल और सीनियर सेकेंडरी स्कूल मिला करके हैं. तो 5वीं तक के 10,000 स्कूल हैं, सिर्फ 5 ही हज़ार हायर और सीनियर सेकेंडरी एंड सेकेंडरी स्कूल्स हैं हम लोगों के पास. तो हमारे पास जो बच्चों के संख्या मतलब 2004 में थी, वो जाकर के प्राइमरी स्कूलों में वी हैव लॉस्ट 50% ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स. हमारे 50,000 बच्चे 2004 से 2023 तक प्राइवेट स्कूल्स में चले गए. So there is the schools are empty. There are 5 number of students in a school. There are 10 number of students in a school. So that is the biggest challenge for the state of Himachal. और उसमें अगर हम बात करें, हमारा पीटीआर बहुत अच्छा है. जो प्यूपिल टीचर रेशो होता है, स्टूडेंट एक मतलब एक टीचर कितने स्टूडेंट में, उसमें हम नेशनल एवरेज से कहीं ऊपर है. लेकिन वो इसलिए हो गया कि बच्चे ही नहीं बचे हैं हमारे पास. तो जब बच्चे नहीं होंगे तो स्केल ऑफ इकॉनमी की अगर हम बात करें तो हमारे को टीचर्स रखने ही पड़ेंगे. चाहे एक बच्चा है, चाहे 15 बच्चे हैं, तो टीचर रखने पड़ेंगे. तो जो एक्सपेंडिचर्स ऑन स्कूल्स है वो बढ़ गया. लेकिन जो हमारे बच्चे थे वो घट गए. सो दैट इज़ वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज. एंड आई ऑलवेज टेल इट टू टीचर्स that you have to be serious about teaching, rather than getting yourself transferred from one place or nearer to your houses. नहीं तो हमारे पास बच्चे नहीं बचेंगे. that's the biggest challenge. Second, मैं ये कहता हूँ कि counseling is very important, which we are now स्टार्टिंग इन द स्टेट ऑफ हिमाचल. काउंसलिंग जो है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर होता है प्रियंका किसी भी स्कूल में. और वो इसलिए होता है कि जब हम बच्चे थे तो हमें 12वीं कर लिया या 11वीं कर लिया तो पता ही नहीं होता था कि आप लाइफ में आगे क्या करना है. तो अगर हम साइंटिफिक बच्चों की काउंसलिंग करते हैं, एटलीस्ट हम 5वीं 6वीं से अगर शुरू कर देते हैं, तो एक रिजल्ट हमारे पास जब वो 8वीं 9वीं 10वीं तक जाता है बच्चा, तो हमारे पास ये रिजल्ट आ सकता है कि वो बच्चा वाकई में क्या करने के लायक है, क्या किस चीज़ में उसकी कैपेबिलिटी
यहाँ पे
है.
सर मुझे भी लगता है कि लैग करता है कि आपको ये नहीं थी
तो
बताया था हाउ टू मतलब
हाँ.
हमें पढ़ाई करा दी जाती है, बट ये नहीं है कभी सिखाया गया कि पैसा कैसे कमाया जाए.
हाँ,
जॉब के अलावा.
तो सेकंड मैंने कहा कि पहले तो बच्चे को यही पता नहीं होता है कि वो सक्षम क्या है. तो वो पेरेंट्स को देखता है घर में, वो बोलता है क्या बनोगे बेटा, मैं डॉक्टर बनूंगा, मैं इंजीनियर बनूंगा. बट उसकी कैपेबिलिटी क्या है इसका मूल्यांकन कभी नहीं होता है. तो वो काउंसलिंग की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है. तीसरी जो आपने बात कही कि 21st सेंचुरी स्किल्स, तो वो आज की डेट में बहुत ज़रूरत है. और 21st सेंचुरी स्किल्स जो हैं वो आपकी इसी चीज़ पे है, आपकी रॉट लर्निंग पे नहीं है. किसके फादर कौन थे हिस्ट्री में, ये जानने से कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ रहा है. आज की क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग अगर किसी की है, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स हैं, कोलैबोरेटिव स्किल्स हैं, मार्केट ओरिएंटेड स्किल्स हैं, अगर आपका स्टडीज़ को इन स्किल सेट्स के साथ अगर नहीं जोड़ा जाएगा तो हमारे बच्चे जो हैं वो बहुत अच्छा नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो वी नीड टू लुक एट आर रिवाइवल एंड रीफ्रेमिंग ऑफ आर करिकुलम्स accordingly. Then we need to train our teachers to impart that kind of training, so that those contents which we are going to change as per the requirement of the 21st century skills, they should also, teacher need to update themselves on that. And then certain program on an entrepreneurship mindset or other skill sets, vocational skill sets, that needs to be started, which can actually ensure that once these boys and girls are out of the school system, they are capable of doing something in their life.
Okay, so what do you think that what can be the lacks in the country that so many people want to go outside for studies and settle down in the foreign countries only?
Well, now I will not say, because at one point, there used to be a very limited number of the best of the educational institutes in the country. But now we are, still, I will not say that if you compare with the kind of standards in education, but still many of the universities, many of the colleges, many of the medical universities, many of the IITs, IIMs, so there are excellent seats of education now being there in India. But the only problem is that all these boys and girls studying from the best of the IITs, best of the IIMs, are getting out of the country. So that's my worry.
Yes.
That's my worry. But how to engage them in our own country And in the present context, when there are boundaries by the imposing certain legislation across the country, you see Trump's administrations taking certain decisions, imposing restrictions of movement of people from outside. So those restrictions have to be seen with the perspective that we don't have a much of scope of moving out of country. We need to create more jobs within our within our country. So those structural changes need to be brought in the country, I think.
डू यू फील सर देर इज सम लैक ऑफ वैल्यूज़ इन द पीपल ऑल्सो, क्योंकि एजुकेशन और मतलब मुझे लगता है जैसे पहले गुरुकुल का सिस्टम हुआ करता था, बट नाउ आई थिंक एजुकेशन सिस्टम हैज़ ऑल्सो चेंज. तो लोग बच्चे बाहर जाते हैं बट दे डोंट कम बैक. देर इज द ह्यूमन रिलेशन बिटवीन पेरेंट्स एंड चिल्ड्रन बहुत लैक कर जाता है कि अब दे आर सेंडिंग मनी आफ्टर सम वाइल एंड द ओल्ड पीपल आर जस्ट बीइंग टेकन केयर ऑफ बाय द मेड्स. वैसे रहता है. तो व्हाट डू यू वांट टू से ऑन दैट? व्हाट मे बी द लैक इन द सोसाइटी?
I think the biggest problem, Priyanka, is that uh, we could not create so-called uh, social, emotional, and ethical learnings in our education system. When we talk of social, emotional, and ethical components, they were deeply, embedded in those educational system in the past. And that's why we have seen those citizens growing with those high values. So those values have been eroded because our system got disturbed. Those values we could not continue with. When Lord Macaulay and all you worked out the policies of education for the which many of the institutes and even in the school system in the government are the being copied. Are the one who are the essential component where a lot of things happened which was market oriented, which was work related or other things, but we really forgot these 3-4 things which I said that we need to have components of social values. We have to have a components of emotional values, and we also have to have ethical learnings, contents in our education. If it is not so, then the nursery of those boys and girls which we are producing will be deprived of it. And then what you said, that is how people are facing, because the parents are here, kids have moved out, they are without those values, and they hardly have any attachments, and then these old people are the sufferer. And we have seen it happening in India, where many of when people died, there is none from the family or
be there.
from the immediate family to do the last rituals, which is shame. I mean, and the shame is because, as I said, these values from our educational system got eroded over the period of time for whatever reasons.
सर हिमाचल की आपको सबसे अच्छी बात क्या लगती है? आई थिंक वैल्यू सिस्टम में मुझे लगता है हमारा बहुत स्ट्रांग है.
We still boast of that, but we need to be tested. Still, I think we are far better than many of the other states, and probably we have those values where these young boys and girls are living in a combined families. They know what are dada dadis, what are nana nanis. That cushioning is there, though they are the very important people in anybody's life, and anybody now is really blessed if a boy or a girl can spend certain vacations at least with their grandparents. So that is the, a very important seed to learn many things in life. And if that happens, that's important. But then, yes, I agree with you that Himachal comparison or comparatively to other state is far better.
Okay, sir. So, what is nationalism and patriotism as per you?
Nationalism is, and the difference between is not much, but a degree above nationalism. And when you think it from the patriotic point of view, that becomes that goes little higher than the nationalism. So that takes a shape of a patriotism.
Okay, sir. Let's lighten up the mood. I am going to give you a challenge. वो एक आप राउंड देती हूँ. If you were a teacher, तो आप क्या करते? अगर आप एक टीचर होते तो आप कौन सा सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाते?
Bioscience.
Bioscience. I think मैंने MSc करी है.
हाँ, I was a student of bioscience.
Science.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
आप एक स्ट्रिक्ट होते या कूल टीचर होते?
I think I would have been a combo of both.
बोथ. ओके. पीटी पीरियड में क्या करवाते हैं अगर आप पीटी पीरियड आपके पास होता?
PT is important. PT is, as we were talking earlier, on the values. I think physical part is something which alerts your mind. Now we have gone in a system where there hardly any space given on the physical exercises. We are talking of yoga, we are celebrating Yoga Day and many other things. But we are not even giving a space for the physical education.
सर मैं हाँ, जब हम जब छोटे थे तब यही कहते थे कि पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे तो होंगे खराब, ऐसा कुछ था.
नहीं, बट पॉइंट ये है कि वो दैट इरा इज गॉन, प्रियंका. जो आपने कहा कि खेलोगे कूदोगे तो होगे खराब, खेलोगे कूदोगे होगे खराब. बट सी, आई गिव contrary or contradictions to what you said.
No, I don't believe in it, but ऐसे होता था.
How many people now know the topper of a civil services, right? I mean, they are any parents aspire that if their kids are brilliant, they can become either the civil servant or they can become the eminent doctors or engineers and so on and so forth. But how many of them are known? But everybody knows Sachin Tendulkar.
True.
So point is that if you are doing brilliance in sports, and you are doing great in hockey, you become so the kind of name and fame these sports persons, athletes, see the Olympians now coming back to India, silver, or even the participants in the Olympics in India, ensures them the best of the things which they cannot see. Take the example of Haryana. Just mere participation on an international athletic events makes you billionaires.
True.
The kind of money you get now and the kind of fame you get, right? So, I mean, no study can give you that kind of a name and fame. So the physical part, I personally feel now has a lot of meaning to it. And it should get a lot of space, which unfortunately we are not giving.
Agreed. Okay, sir. तो मॉर्निंग असेंबली में अगर स्पीच देनी होती तो किस टॉपिक पर देते? हाइपोथेटिकल.
मॉर्निंग्स में मैं अगर स्पीच देनी होती एज अ स्टूडेंट अगर मुझे बोलना होता तो मुझे लगता है कि जो मेरा फेवरेट चीज़ होता वो फिर इन्वायरमेंट और उसके आसपास का क्षेत्र होता, क्योंकि मेरी रुचि इन चीज़ों में पहले से ही रही है.
ओके. क्या समग्र शिक्षा हिमाचल की लोकल लैंग्वेज और कल्चर को अपने करिकुलम में इंटीग्रेट करती है?
बिल्कुल करती है. वी हैव अ बॉडी कॉल्ड SCRT, State Council of Education Research and Training, which is situated at Solan. so they look after into it. So the syllabus and the curriculum and the syllabi come from Government of India through NCRT,
Okay.
but we adopt it not adopt, we adapt it to the local contents coming from our history or other things, and we make part and we accordingly amend those NCRT syllabis and contents.
Okay. Sir, what is the last thing that you want to say to the audiences who's watching this podcast?
This is the dimpled way, right? So my message to the audience is that don't burden your children's on education. Uh, you know, it doesn't matter how long they sit with the books, but give them a space, give them an open space where some kind of sports activity they do. So, I mean, they are going to do good if they are physically and mentally much alert. So, don't really bog down them with the books. So, it doesn't matter how long they are with the books. What matter is that what kind of, physical activities they are involved into, what kind of sports they are playing along with their, and kindly try to keep them away from the gadgets. And the very important message, this message is not mine, but I'm telling you from the experience, their empirical studies and evidences suggest that kids who are being provided gadgets, mobiles, and these other gadgets in their hand at the age of 4, 5, 6, they are not doing good in their life. So that is a very clear message I wanted to give.
So thank you so much for coming, sir. It was an honor to have you with us. और आपके साथ साथ I got to learn so many things with you.
Nahi, Priyanka, I don't know, but there were few things which
They-
were out of syllabus. So I was not even prepared,
It's
but
okay.
I hope that I could do justice to the questions asked by you, and I wish you great luck.
Thank you so
You're
much,
doing
sir.
good,
Thank
and
you,
your
sir.
team great luck.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I'm sure that this platform one day will be well recognized
थैंक यू सो मच
across.
सर,
Thank you.
दैट्स सो स्वीट सर.
Thank you.
तो ये थे राजेश शर्मा हमारे साथ, जिनसे बात करके मुझे बहुत पर्सनली अच्छा लगा, एंड आई एम रियली श्योर दैट यू गाइज आर गोइंग टू लाइक इट टू. सो इसी तरह से हमारे एपिसोड्स को देखते रहिए और हमारे चैनल को लाइक शेयर और सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर करिए. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग.